Hello everybody and welcome back to the Oklahoma Esports League Rocket League playoffs. Today we are going to be watching Edmond Memorial and Noble. Edmond Memorial currently the #1 seed and Noble currently the 4 seed going into this upper bracket match. Whichever team loses still has the chance. It is a double elimination. They will go down to the relegation bracket. So still a chance for both of these teams to make something happen.
Yeah, it's really exciting to be able to watch these teams. We've seen Noble a couple of times as we're just getting ready to load in the lobby here. But I don't believe we've actually watched Edmond Memorial at all this season, which is really exciting, saying that they're the #1 seed going into the tournament.
I think we might have week 1.
Maybe
Because it was when they went against Deer Creek.
Long time ago.
But now they are the #1 seed going up against Noble here, so we're going to have to see what these teams are going to do. Really quickly, going to go ahead and get into this match. Edmond Memorial sending the ball over to the side of Noble. Quickly picking that one up, sending it back to the side of Edmond Memorial to try to make a shot happen. Goes to the middle, tries for the shot, doesn't quite get there. Is able to send that one out. Ran able to hit it towards the middle to Mystical. Tries to go for the shot, a little too far to the left. Apollo's going to go ahead and pick that one up, grab possession back. An unfortunate 50 into the middle, and Cruz accidentally backflips in just the unfortunate spot for an accidental own goal on the side of Noble, putting Edmond Memorial 1-0.
Yeah, being able to get that opportunity in the corner, a rough 50-50 ball for Noble right there, not expecting that the ball was going to go back that direction, and just a really great opportunity play from Edmond Memorial there.
Yep, Edmond Memorial going to go ahead and pick up some early possession in this half. Mystical going to try to go for a shot. Only one player remaining there and sends it in that top right corner. A second one quickly for Edmond Memorial with 4 minutes and 24 seconds left.
Yeah, really just laying on the pressure there. A lot of momentum being swung in Edmond Memorial's favor, and obviously that first shot going to be a little bit awkward, but that one, a lot of great ball handling from Edmond Memorial, being able to get up to that quick 2-0 lead.
Exactly, and now we're going to see Noble makes some headway on Edmond Memorial's side. Going to try to make something happen. Apollo going to send it towards the middle, a little bit too hard, sends it over to the right side. Going to be picked back up. Sent over to Noble's half again. Cruz going to try to pick it up for some possession, but Rain is going to follow up on it, tries to send it into the net. Apollo is going to get a good save there. Mystical over to Jay. Cruz is going to accidentally go over that one there. 50-50 here. Does go a little bit in Noble's favor, sending it over to the far left side. Edmond Memorial going to grab possession of this ball over to Apollo, over to Mystical. Kind of a back and forth from both teams right now, just trying to make some headway onto either team's half. Rain going to try to send it towards the middle, but it is picked up back over to that right side corner. Continuing the possession on the side of Noble right here. Apollo going to pick it up, try to make something happen, but Jay is going to dunk it over their head. Tries to go for the net, but a little too far to the left. Rain is going to try to pick this one up, but Cruz on the defense sends it over to the left side. Mystical following up on it to try to get some possession back. Doesn't quite get the touch that they might have wanted. Double commit on the ball there, neither getting the touch there. Mystical going to try to follow up on this possession over to Noble's half. Apollo going to grab a touch on that one. Might have been Cruz there. Hits Mystical out of the way. Gets some possession for Noble, sends it over to the left side. The rest of Noble going to try to follow up, sends it toward the middle. Mystical doesn't get the touch on it. Neither team getting the touch. Apollo, the only defender remaining. Jay around Apollo, and it will go in. Apollo, unfortunately, not getting to the ball fast enough. Getting a quick 3-0 lead here for Edmond Memorial.
Yeah, a little bit more stability, that possession on both sides, and more contesting on a lot of those rotations. Finally, Edmond Memorial is able to chip and churn away at that Noble defense, slowly taking some field advantage and getting up to that 3-0 lead.
Starting off here, going to grab some possession from the side of Edmond Memorial. Mystical going to go up for this wall dribble, but Cruz is going to dunk it right over their head, sending one in for Noble. As I say that, though, Caster cursed the shot. It doesn't quite go in, hits that top right corner, and just barely bounces out. Edmond Memorial going to send the ball towards the middle. Noble going to quickly grab some possession, feeling the fire in their eyes after almost a perfect shot, and a dunk there from Mystical, sending a ball right into Noble's net. Just, you can see Mystical gets to the ball just a little bit faster, sending that one in for a 4-0 lead in this first game.
Yeah, and it looked like Apollo also went for the offensive play there. Noble needing to make a play, got a little bit greedy on that offensive play, and being able to capitalize on it. Edmond Memorial taking up that 4-0 lead as we see some pressure from Noble very early in this possession.
Apollo going to quickly grab some possession, sending it over to Edmond Memorial's side. Noble's goal right now is to keep possession as much as they can, take as many shots as they can, and try to get this score at least back to even in the last 2 minutes of this game. Cruz going to get some possession here, try to make something happen. The air dribble gets the flip reset, doesn't quite get the finish though. Mystical going to grab possession of this, tries for the goal. One defender remaining for the side of Noble. Cruz hitting that one out. Apollo and Cruz following up with the ball, but does get hit out. Apollo going to quickly grab that one back over Rain's head, over Jay's head, over Mystical's head too, over all three of Edmond Memorial's heads, able to slot one in for Noble. Apollo getting it over Rain right there, Jay right there, and not quite on Mystical. All three defenders for Edmond Memorial getting sauced up by Apollo there.
Man, I know Apollo's a Greek god, but he's a god on the soccer field right now. That was awesome to watch.
And Memorial grabbing quick possession onto the side of Noble. Noble now having some momentum in their favor. Maybe start getting some goals back. Mystical trying for the net. Doesn't quite get the touch. Apollo going to quickly grab possession of this. Jay trying for a dunk. Doesn't quite get there. Rain trying for one as well. Right now, Edmond just doing a lot of aggressive plays right now. Almost too aggressive. Mystical barely getting back for that ball. Gets a nice save. Up in the air here for Noble. Cruz going to try to follow up on it. Apollo just not getting the touch. An unfortunate save from Apollo. Just sends right past that ball. The only defender remaining. And Jay sends that one in. That left corner. 4-goal lead again for Edmond Memorial with 1 minute and 13 seconds left.
Yeah, that 2-1, that 2-on-1 defense to offense situation for Apollo is going to be really difficult, and that just happens from Noble's rotations on those aggressive plays. If you're not able to convert those, it makes it really difficult to get back on the defensive end.
Yeah, Edmond Memorial doing a really great job of these rotations right now, just keeping the ball over on Noble's side, not letting them have as much possession as possible. Mystical quickly going to grab the ball, tries for a flip reset, tries for a double flip reset, tries for a triple flip reset. Oh my goodness. So much mechanics happening right now on the side of Edmond Memorial, but Noble doing a great job of keeping the ball out of their own net. Cruz going to try to follow up on it. Jay gets a little dunk over their head, keeping it on Noble's side. Jay going to follow up on it yet again. Mystical following up on a 50-50. Doesn't quite get a good touch onto their side, though. The ball sent over to Edmond Memorial side. Only 30 seconds remaining. Edmond Memorial right now just looking to keep the ball out of their half and let this clock run down. If Noble doesn't have anything, then they can't get any goals. Mystical off the ceiling. Apollo going to get a bit of a bump there. Cruz over the ball. Last defender remaining for Noble, sending that one out over towards Edmond Memorial side. Cruz going to try for one last attempt at a goal, but Jay going to dunk it over their head back to Edmond Memorial side and going to follow up on it themselves. 1 second remaining. No goals to be had. 5-1, game one for Edmond Memorial, starting this best of 5 off with a banger game.
Yeah, for sure. The score doesn't really reflect it, but a lot closer than that 5-1 final actually shows. A couple of things that are really noticeable. A lot of 50-50 balls ended up going Edmond Memorial's way, and especially at the way that those first 30 seconds started, the quick 2-0 lead for Edmond Memorial really makes it where Noble has to play a lot more of an aggressive play style, and that may not be their type of play style. Realistically, getting back to a 0-0 mentality for Noble is going to be really good for them, and Edmond Memorial, obviously, if you're a Bulldog fan, you have just got to keep up that momentum, understand how well you played in the first map, and keep it going to game 2.
Yeah, quickly getting some possession on the side of Edmond Memorial. Almost a fantastic early goal. Doesn't quite get it, though. Noble going to try and re-grab possession here. Rain not quite getting the touch there. Mystical up with the ball here. Going to try to follow up on it, but Cruz gets there first, sending it off their own post. Taking that one out. Going to try to follow up here. Apollo going to send that one up in the air off Mystical. Apollo going to follow up off the wall. No boost left. Tries to follow up. Doesn't quite get it, though. Rain up in the air. Trying to grab some possession of the ball. Jay over Rain. Tries to go up to compete with Cruz. Cruz does get the touch first. Up in the air here. And Cruz with a fantastic follow-up. Managing to get a fantastic rotation out here from Noble for an early goal 1. Noble starting off on the attack here, starting off with the lead.
Yeah, Flowers having a great line drive there. A little bit of slower rotations, maybe trying to play it a little bit safer on both sides. And all of a sudden, Flowers sees an opening to take so much field space, and then Cruz there with the follow-up and the finish.
Mystical on Apollo. Apollo able to get a nice touch there. Flowers sending it out. Jay gonna follow it, grabs it off the wall, goes a little bit too far, doesn't have any boost left, sends it over Cruz's head, is just trying to keep as much possession on the ball as possible. Apollo gonna go ahead and grab that one. Mystical over their head. Flowers gonna quickly follow up on it, sending it over to Edmond Memorial side. Mystical onto Rain. Cruz sending it over to Jay. Another back and forth happening right now. Jay in the air. Flowers gonna try to follow up on it. Apollo over their head. Flowers follows up on the touch from the Apollo. It is gonna go off their post. Apollo trying to quickly follow up, doesn't quite get there though. Cruz here on the defense. Mystical going to try to send it over. Flowers going to quickly pick up position there. Over to Rain. Not quite the touch I think Rain expected. Flowers not quite getting to the ball. Mystical over to Rain. Rain doesn't get there in time. A fantastic save from the side of Noble. Noble doing a good job of just keeping the ball out of their net right now.
Oh, and
Flowers maybe with another one, but unfortunately a little too far left. Cruz going to try to grab possession of this ball, keep it in Edmond Memorial's territory. Jay going to grab it, sends it over to the right-hand side. Flowers going to try to follow up. Rain gets there first. Cruz sending it out on a nice clear towards the middle. Jay going to grab possession here. Flowers up, tries to send it into the net, not quite fast enough. Mystical grabs it off the wall. Apollo not quite getting the touch. Jay going to send it over to Mystical, but Cruz is there to on the defense to be able to take that ball. Sends it towards the middle. Cruz in position. Doesn't quite get it. Flowers sends it towards the middle, but Rain is there to follow up. Too far left on that one as well. Cruz over Jay. Going to keep following it. Get some boost back. Rain gets a 50-50 with Cruz. Sends it towards the middle. Going to get a clear from the side of Edmond Memorial. Another clear back to Noble. Apollo up with Mystical. Doesn't get the touch. Mystical off the back wall. Cruz going to try to dribble this one out. Rain trying to follow up over to Jay. Hits off the wall. Rain going to try to follow up with a double touch. Doesn't quite get there though. Cruz able to clear that one out. Almost a goal there from Edmond Memorial, but Noble doing a great job on this defense right now.
Yeah, they're playing really smart soccer right now. Good old soccer tactics. Being able to just understand the time of possession and the lead that they have. This is something that Noble hasn't had in the first game of this series, and it's something that Edmond Memorial is really struggling with. Was Noble just playing smart? Rocket League. Oh my goodness. Mystical with the save. Or I'm sorry, Rain with the save. A drive now from Jacob, and finally being able to tie it up. A long series for Edmond Memorial there, but finally getting the call of 1-1 there from Jacob.
And as we've seen from Noble so far in the second game, we know they can defend against Edmond Memorial. We know they can score on Edmond Memorial, especially against that long drive. We saw the masterclass of defense that Noble was able to bring out here. So certainly some winnable games for Noble here. But on the early kickoff, Rain is going to slot another one in for Edmond Memorial. A quick 2 goals here, putting the lead back in Edmond Memorial's favor. Still a good amount of time remaining for Noble to bring this at least back tied for that overtime match. Still over 60 seconds left in this match. Jacob and Flowers going to get some quick possession on it. Mystical just getting to the ball first. An unfortunate miss on that ball from the side of Noble. You can see Flowers there. Apollo tries to get the touch on it, but doesn't get the flip in time. And a slot in from Mystical off the kickoff. Edmond Memorial now having a 2-goal lead. Still over 60 seconds left in this match for Noble to make a drive here. Cruz off the wall, having more than enough boost to make this happen. Flip reset, tries to go for the goal, but Rain is there. Flowers going to try to follow up on it. Sends it into the post. Apollo going to try to follow up, but too fast on the side of Edmond Memorial. Sends that ball over to Noble's side. Rain going to try to follow up for a goal. Doesn't quite get there. It will be sent out of Noble's ball, Noble's half. Cruz going to grab control here. Tries to air dribble it in, but Rain and Mystical going to send it over to that left side. Jay going to follow up. Mystical up the middle. Sends it middle. Jay ready for it, but Flowers going to grab it. Send it back over to the corner, not let him have anything. Flowers and Cruz sending it up the middle. Cruz just trying to keep possession of this ball here. Only 30 seconds remaining in this game. Edmond Memorial still up 2. Noble going to need a goal to happen right now, but unfortunately it goes in the favor of Edmond Memorial. Mystical able to air dribble, slot in yet another one. Double flip reset off the wall, able to send it in that right corner, and Apollo just not able to get that save. 22 seconds left. Can Noble bring 3 goals back?
Yeah, a really nice play from Mystical there. And also we've seen the tides kind of flip a little bit. Edmond Memorial being able to get that quick strikeability off of the 2 goals. And all of a sudden, before I can even say anything, Noble with a goal to get that score a little bit closer. Now it's still definitely far-fetched that they tie this up, but I've seen crazier things in Rocket League.
Hey, 11 seconds left. All they need to do is get it in within 10, and then they can get that kickoff last-second slot in another one. It is certainly possible for Noble here. We will just have to see if they can get a good kickoff. But unfortunately, that is sent over to Noble's side. Jay going to grab control of this. Only 3 seconds left to try to make a goal happen. A good effort here from Noble, but that will be the second game for Edmond Memorial, a 4-2 game with the advantage, the set point here for Edmond Memorial. Only 1 game left needed for Edmond Memorial. Noble certainly able to come back with a clean sweep here. They both took the same amount of shots, just 2 more goals slotted in for the side of Edmond Memorial. And as we've seen, Noble able to have a masterclass defense as well. So, you know, there's a lot that can happen in this Game 3.
Yeah, there was the same result that game, but much different story than from what Game 1 was. I felt like Noble, for a majority of that match, had the pacing and the advantage, but Edmond Memorial, with those kickoff plays, being able to get 2 free points was the difference of the match, with the 2-score disadvantage there, with Edmond Memorial taking Game 2. Very impressive from them, being able to battle back. Obviously, you're the 1 seed. Everyone knows you're the big dog. Get it? Because they're the Bulldogs. That you're the big dog in Rocket League right now. So being able to understand that and still play calm when you're down is a winner's mentality. Really good to see from Edmond Memorial.
Flowers up in the air, trying to go for the double touch. Doesn't get the second flip off. Jay can quickly get there for the save, sending it back over to Noble's side. Cruz grabbing the ball here to try to make a drive happen, but Mystical will stop it. Apollo going to try to go for a 50-50, but sends themselves over the ball. Another 50-50. Mystical just a brick wall right now, able to keep the ball in their possession. Goes for the double touch, but doesn't quite get it. A nice save there from Cruz, sending it back over to Edmond Memorial side. No defenders left for Edmond Memorial. Rain is coming back fast, but can Apollo get it? Sends it towards the middle into Cruz. Cruz not quite getting the touch that they might have expected. Flowers trying to go for it. Cruz over their head. Apollo ready for the follow-up, but doesn't quite get there. Flowers trying to make something happen, but it does go over their head. Not quite a good touch able to be made. Noble making a fantastic drive there, but just not able to follow up, and Edmond Memorial quickly following up with a fantastic explosion of a counter drive, able to send one in for Edmond Memorial. A 1-0, but Noble so close on that initial drive.
Yeah, and I feel like Noble felt how close of that goal, like where it was, and just being able to go all-out aggression. Of course, they get punished for it by Edmond Memorial, being able to play fantastic defense there and get the clear. That was also the long shot, but Cruz tying it up. I need to stop casting color for so long, Jackson, because it seems every time I do that one of these teams comes out with this quick strikeability like we see from Noble with Cruz right there.
Yeah, fantastic slot in there. Still 4 minutes left in this match, still a lot to happen, but a 1-1. Both teams showing their masterclass of an attack. Apollo trying to make something happen here. Flowers trying to follow up on it, but doesn't quite get there. Apollo up in the air, sends it over to Cruz. Cruz going to try to follow, but Mystical gets there just a little bit faster. Jay sends it up into the air. Mystical going to try to follow up on it. Sends it up into the air as well. Flowers going to try to make a 50-50 happen. Sends it over to Edmond Memorial side. A big back and forth right now. Not quite going in anyone's favor. Rain going to get some possession here. Mystical following up on it. Mystical going to try to get the flip up into the air. Apollo getting a nice touch on it. Jay not quite getting there. Rain going to send it over to Jay. Jay sends it towards the middle. Mystical and Rain ready to follow up on it, but Apollo's going to try to dribble that one out. Gets the flip reset. Cruz going to follow up on this goal. Doesn't quite get it. Sends it into the post. Just barely able to make something happen there. Mystical sends it over back to Noble's side. Going to try to go up in the air. Cruz ready for the defense, and Cruz sends it out. Rain following up, keeping possession on the side of Noble. Flowers going to send that one out, but not quite a big enough clear. Cruz going to hit it over, though. Sends it out over to Edmond Memorial's side. All 3 of Edmond Memorial's defenders over in this corner. Flowers tries to send it over, but Mystical is going to send it out. Cruz not able to follow up on it. Apollo, the last person remaining, sends that one back in the right corner for Edmond Memorial. Mystical up in the air is going to try to follow it here, but Apollo sends it over into that left corner. Going to be followed up here by Flowers over Jay's head. Jay going to try to get there. Gets there first, but Cruz is ready to follow up on it.
Dribble.
Follows up on
Nice
their
trap.
own attack, but doesn't quite get it into the net. Another bar down for Noble, and another one hit into that corner. They just are hitting the bar after bar, not able to slot one in the right position. A double commit from Noble, going to send the ball over to the side of Edmond Memorial, and a finish from Cruz. A 2-1 lead here from Noble in this third game. Can they keep it?
Chip, chip, chip away. Noble is doing that, and the defense of Edmond Memorial is breaking. We're watching it whittle down with each of these close shot attempts. You know that stress, that nerve from Edmond Memorial is coming in, and Noble is seeing the possibilities, seeing the openings, being able to manage that really effectively.
And Mystical going to send that ball over to Noble's half. Flowers grabbing possession of that ball really quick, sends it over the middle, try to get towards Cruz or Apollo. Apollo grabbing that one, but Mystical going to get there first. Not able to slot in another goal. Jay going to quickly grab that. Mystical going to go ahead and take it. Jay tries for the net. And does manage to get it in there. Cruz trying for a save on that ball, but just doesn't get there fast enough. Jay grabbing another goal for Edmond Memorial. A tie game here with 1:41 left.
And it looked like the Noble defense wasn't actually expecting a shot on the goal there. Maybe some little more in preparation in the corner, preparing for the cross, but that diag is actually able to get the Noble defense off guard, and just no one's set up to actually defend a shot on goal.
Mystical going to grab that ball, take possession. A bump here from Apollo to try to get their team some time. Flowers going to send that one straight up. Mystical gets there first, doesn't get a touch though. Flowers going to grab it, sends it over Mystical's head. Rain ready to follow up on that. Cruz ready to follow up again. Sends it over Rain's head, but Rain getting enough on it to be able to send that one out of the net. 1:06 left. Still a tie game. Cruz up in the air with more than enough boost to work with. Hits it up. Doesn't get it into the net though. Is sent over to that right corner. Flowers going to grab it. Sends it to the middle. Apollo going to try to follow up on it, but a little too far. Isn't able to get a goal off that. Sends it back towards the middle. Cruz going to grab possession here. Sends it over the wall. Follows it up off themselves, but touch for Edmond Memorial first. Flowers going to send that one back over to the right corner. 36 seconds left. Still some time for one of these teams before overtime to slot another one in. Flowers going to try to follow up, but gets there late. Apollo, Mystical, 50-50 back up into the air. Rain gets there first. Cruz and Flowers going to try to make something happen. Over Flowers' head. Jay going to try to make something happen, but hits off that back wall. Mystical ready to pick up on it. Some bumps happening in the side of Noble's goal to try to get the defenders out. 9 seconds left. A final drive here for Noble to make something happen. Sends it through the middle, and Rain tries to follow up on the defense, but doesn't quite get it. Only 5 seconds remaining in the game, and Noble will take a third goal. Edmond Memorial going to need a goal off this kickoff, or that is game 3 for Noble.
So much traffic coming up the field, no pun intended, in car soccer, of course. But yeah, a really amazing play from Noble there, being able to get it with just 5 seconds left here. Edmond Memorial has to make a play, or we're going to a game 4.
Down to the ground. Mystical going to pick it up. Still keep that ball off the ground where the game is over. Jay hits it back into the air. Mystical going to try to follow up into the air as well. Cruz going to try to hit it back towards the ground. Rain hits it, but Jacob not able to get there in time. That will be game 3 for Noble. Noble looking better and better the more games that go by. I think Noble certainly, as we've seen that game and as we started seeing at the beginning of last game, they have the chance to be able to bring this one back. It's just, can they do that 2 more games in a row and bring out this reverse sweep?
And something you really have to look at the stat board is the 11-4 shot differential for Noble. Just had so much time of possession, so many offensive plays, and even with a 3-2 difference in the final score, Edmond Memorial has to be happy with how their defense plays, just need to have a little bit more of effective drives. But Noble showed that they aren't messing around, ready to go to the big dogs at the 1 seed and be able to try and stay in this winner's bracket.
Yeah, and so far they are doing well. They're holding in there, as we can even see from the scores of 5-1 from a 4-2 to then a 3-2 victory. So Noble doing slowly better and better each game. It's just, can they keep up the momentum that they are creating and continue to do that for a reverse sweep? Right now, off the kickoff, Noble almost getting another good goal, but Jay is going to send that one out. Over towards the middle. Flowers is going to pick this one up. Jay going to 50-50 it. Sends it into the air. Apollo quickly follows it up, but Mystical able to get there fast. Sends it back towards the middle, but Rain is going to send it over to that corner. Not letting Noble have a goal here. Rain going to send it, but Flowers able to 50 it back into them. Cruz going to try to follow up on it, but Jay gets there first. Apollo, the last defender remaining, tries to follow up on it, but Mystical going to send that over to the right side. Apollo not quite getting the touch that they would have wanted. Sends it over into that right corner. Flowers there to follow up on it. Goes off the wall. Has enough boost to make a flip happen, but does get bumped out of the combo there. Ball going to be sent over to Noble's side. Rain going to try to follow up on it, but Apollo there gets bumped out of the way. Cruz and Flowers going to have to make something happen here. Mystical playing it slow. Goes for the double touch, but does get hit out of their way. Still, the ball kind of hovering around this midfield. Possession going back and forth between both teams. Mystical going to hit it out. Jay going to try to follow up on it. Sends a ball over, but Cruz going to grab that one and clear it over to the middle. Mystical going to try to follow up on Cruz, but Cruz getting it around, sending it towards the middle. Flowers going to follow up on it, but not getting the touch. Apollo over into the right corner, sends it back out to the middle, going to follow up on their own touch, and sends it in over Jay's head, putting Noble an early 1-0 lead in this fourth game so far, doing Noble looking better and better each time, sending a nice shot from the side of Apollo over Jay's head, able to slide another one in. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left for Edmond to bring this one back.
Apollo's geometry teacher has got to give them extra credit because the angles and the contact on that play was phenomenal to watch.
And Flowers over the head of Mystical. Rain, the last defender remaining, is going to follow up on that. Cruz clearing it back towards the middle. Going to give possession back to Edmond. Cruz going to try to follow to make another possession happen. Jay over Apollo's head. Cruz going to grab the ball, try for a slow possession here, but Rain is going to pinch that one back out towards the middle over Mystical. He's going to have to quickly grab possession before Apollo can get there. Goes over Apollo, goes over Flowers. Cruz, the last one remaining, is going to combat a fantastic demolition, but another defender still able to clear that one out. Now on the side of Noble, Rain and Apollo going to go for a 50-50. Is going to stall in the middle. Flowers over to Apollo. Apollo going to try to go off the wall. Flowers going to look for a demo, but doesn't get it. Mystical going to hit that one towards the corner. Keep the ball out of their net. Back towards the middle. Mystical grabbing some possession. Tries to double flip it into the net. Cruz almost getting the save. Flowers going to be there to follow up on it. Flowers going to quickly follow up over into Cruz and sends it straight into the net. Fantastic shot from the side of Cruz. An amazing pass from the side of Flowers. We can see Flowers sending that one straight towards the middle. Cruz able to follow up on it. Rain trying to get a save there, but doesn't get there in time. 2-0 lead with half the time remaining for Noble.
Something that I've noticed from Noble as the series goes on further and further is you can see their team coordination. It's very rare that the first one to control the ball is actually the one making the first drive. They're looking for passes to the other players to try and throw Edmond Memorial's rotations out of whack, and it's working fantastically in this game 4.
Mystical up in the air, going to get the double touch on it. Tries to get another one off the back wall. Is going to try to duck it down. Doesn't quite get there. Jay not reading the touch exactly. Is able to send that one back out over to the Memorial side. Rain, the last one remaining. Cruz sends it over their head, over into the right corner. Mystical going to try to follow up on it, but Cruz is ready for it. Cruz getting a nice shot, but no finish there. Back towards Edmond Memorial side. Mystical going to grab possession of this. Sends it over in the air. Flowers not quite getting it. A demolition as well, but Cruz able to follow that one up. Flowers and Jay going up for it, but a good touch from Noble. Jay going to try to bump Cruz out of the way. Mystical going to follow up on it. Back over to Noble's side. Tries to get a touch into the net. Cruz going to send that one over into the right corner. Rain going to grab the 50. He sends it towards the middle. Is there a teammate to follow up? Not quite. Jay just not getting there in time. Cruz going to send it around Mystical. Cruz having the time. Able to try to get it around Rain, but doesn't quite get there. And Rain able to follow it up, but a fantastic save from Mystical. Able to keep that one out of their net. 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining from the side of Edmond to try to make something happen. Tries to get it over to Edmond's side, to Noble's side. Mystical hitting it off the wall. Flowers not quite able to get the save. And finally, Edmond Memorial does manage to slot one in there. 1-2, still in Noble's lead, still enough time in this game for Edmond Memorial. They still have over 60 seconds here, 72 seconds remaining in this game for Edmond Memorial to make a second goal happen.
Yeah, Noble probably reeling a little bit just like we were on that goal that I thought was going to go in 100%, and Edmond Memorial able to see that opportunity, the rotations coming in a little bit slower on that defense and being able to get it to 1-2, but 1 minute left. Noble just has to play to not let up a goal, and they force a map 5.
And we'll have to see if Edmond Memorial can do it with 48 seconds left. Right now, possession on the side of Edmond Memorial. Going to be sent over to Noble's side. Apollo going to try to grab possession of it, but hits it a little hard. Sends it towards the middle. No teammate to follow up on it. Flowers is going to send that one out towards the middle. Mystical going to hit it to themselves off the right corner. Cruz, the last player remaining, does manage to hit that one out. 30 seconds left. Edmond Memorial needing to make a goal happen here. Cruz going to try to secure the game. Doesn't quite get it. Apollo going to try to get a dunk off themselves. Tries to send it through the middle. Doesn't get the touch, though. Flowers going to send that one over to the left side. Jay going to send it towards Mystical. Mystical versus Cruz, and it goes in! Mystical
really nice
over
touch.
Cruz's head. Mystical reading that play so well, cheating up, already ready for Jay's pass, and just able to go over Cruz's head. Tying up this game with only 16 seconds left. Looks like this might be in overtime.
Yeah, Mystical being able to have some really elite dribbling skills there and understand kind of the things they've seen throughout the series. You start getting a read on how people like to play their defenses and being able to have those soft touches rather than the hard ones to really get your dribbling in. As we might see from Mystical here again, looking to get that final possession. 1 second on the clock. Looks like we are going to go to overtime for this game 4. Noble, Edmond Memorial, Seed 1 versus Seed 4.
Noble needing this goal in this overtime.
Oh
but
my
as we were talking about,
goodness!
an unfortunate kickoff goal there for Jay. Cruz and Rain both hitting that over, and Jay just beating Apollo to the ball just barely, and is able to slot in a final overtime goal. Edmond Memorial down 0-2 for a very long time, able to secure 2 more goals really quickly, bringing that one to overtime and then securing 1 final goal. But what a close game, and what a good series from both teams. Noble looked better and better every game that we watched. They started getting really close. I honestly thought that was going to go to a map 5.
I did as well, especially when they were up 2-0. But something that we saw in both Game 2 and Game 4 there at the end, the kickoffs for the Edmond Memorial Bulldogs, they had a really great advantage, a lot of amazing tips. They got spotted 2 points on the kickoffs in Game 2 and 1 point in Game 4, the winning point at that too. So really impressive from them, being able to understand that that's somewhere where they had an advantage and push that advantage all throughout the series.
Yep. The 1 seed going to keep their name up there in the upper bracket. Going to have to go against Deer Creek or Jinx, the 3rd and 4th seed that are competing on the other side of the winner's bracket right now. So we'll see what happens there and then have to catch up with who Edmond Memorial is going to face. But Noble, not down and out just yet. They are going to be sent down to the lower bracket, but still a chance to bring this one back. And with the showing that we saw against the number 1 seed, I have some high hopes for Noble in that bracket.
I do as well. I think they played really amazing against the number 1 seed in the entire bracket. Maybe they can take this momentum and say, hey, we're a good Rocket League team. We can win some games and start taking that momentum through the losers bracket and try and make it back up into the championships.
Yep, and after a little bit of updating, looking at it, looks like Deer Creek did take Jinx to a 3-1, so Deer Creek does take that win. They are going to be facing up against Edmond Memorial, the 1 and the 2 seed playing each other. We'll have to see what happens next. We will see you guys next time.